Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today is another book talk video. Sorry if I look and sound a little off today. It's because I'm really not feeling well. I think I'm coming down with a cold. But today, I wanted to do something a little different again. With so much sad things happening in the world this week, I thought I would talk about 5 books that always make me happy. No matter when I read them or how often I've read them, every single time they just bring a smile to my face and help renew my faith in anything that it needs renewing in. So with that being said, let's just jump right into it. So the first book that always makes me happy whenever I read it is called 12 Golden Threads, Lessons for Successful Living from Grandma's Quilt by Webb. Now this was given to me in 1996 by my grandmother. It was given to me on the day that I was moving from the province where I had grown up across the country with my parents and my sister. This book has 12 chapters, and each chapter is named after something to do with quilting. Now I'm not, nor have I ever been a quilter, but the words used in the titles are familiar enough that even I know them. And then within each chapter, slowly but surely, as these women are quilting, life lessons are just kind of rolled out in this really sweet and beautiful way. Now it's cheesy at times, I will give you that, but it's a really sweet book. And it has so much sentimental value to me. And every time I pick it up, whether it's just to hold it and skim the pages, or whether I read the thing from front to back, it just always makes me happy. So that's the first one. Now, the second one, I've talked about this series before, and this particular book from the series is Secrets from the Vinyl Cafe by Stuart McLean. Now, Stuart McLean is a Canadian radio broadcaster and writer, and his Vinyl Cafe books are a series of short stories centering around a family, and it's the mom and dad and then 2 kids, and these stories are hilariously funny. I like to, when I read these books, I like to bookmark the stories that are especially funny, so that on days when I'm feeling down I can pull it out and read those stories. Now within these books there's also stories that are more serious or more, heartfelt or touching. Not that the funny ones aren't also heartfelt and touching. But it's just, and you can go into a store and pick up any of the Vinyl Cafe books. I don't even know how many there are at this point. 10, maybe more, and each one is hilarious, and you don't have to read them in order that they were published. You can pick it up anywhere. I did. I started, I think, on the 4th or 5th one, then I went back, and then I went forward, and it's fun to watch the family grow and to just hear their stories. So funny, so good, so feel good. Next is this little book here called Shop Girl, and it's written by Steve Martin. That's Steve Martin, actor Steve Martin. And it's the story of Maribel, and she is a girl, a young girl, I would guess early 20s, I'm sure it says, but, and she works at the glove counter in a very fancy department store. And while working there, she meets Ray Porter, and he's an older, wealthier gentleman, and she begins a kind of casual relationship with him. And at the same time-ish, at the laundromat one night, she meets another man, a young man, more her age group, and his name is Jeremy, and he's weird. And she starts a casual relationship with him as well. And it's just a really interesting book about finding yourself amidst finding love. It's about learning what you want from love, what you're willing to give to love. And it's a great book. It's gorgeously written. Steve Martin is an incredible writer, which is something I'm guessing a lot of people probably don't know. He writes with such intelligence and depth, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So I definitely recommend this, and yeah, it's also, you know, a feel-good kind of story. That's not to say there aren't, you know, more dramatic parts, but it's lovely. So next up, let me grab it here. Okay. Next up is this book here by Michael Brown, and it's called Alchemy of the Heart. Now this book it's not a story. It's about personal transformation and emotional growth. And it's just a kind of gentle hand, just a soft, gentle hand, a soft nudge in the right direction for when you need it. It talks about how when we when we learn to stop trying to run from the unchangeable and embrace it and allow our hearts to guide us, we can ultimately find more happiness and peace. And it's not preachy. It's not. It doesn't talk down to you at all. It's just a really beautiful, simple, inspiring book. And I always love picking this up and just summing through it and reading passages here and there, or again reading it from front to back, and it never disappoints, and I take something new away from it every time I read it. And finally, this one is by Paulo Coelho. He's one of my favorite authors, and it's called Veronika Decides to Die. Now that's definitely not a uplifting sounding title, to be sure. And it does have some heavy themes in it. But, well, I'll tell you, it's about Veronika. She's 24 years old and seemingly has everything you could hope to have, especially as a 24-year-old. She's got a loving family, good friends, a fulfilling job. She's young, she's beautiful. But one night she decides that she just can't take it anymore, and she takes a handful of sleeping pills, I think sleeping pills, with the hopes of not waking up again. And she ends up in a mental hospital. Now, like I said, that doesn't sound like the most uplifting of stories, but it really is. The way that her doctor kind of pulls her out of her despair and shows her the world again is so beautiful and so clever, and it's such a wonderful story that when I finished reading it, I closed it, put it on my lap, and I just reveled in it. It made me feel good. It made me feel happy. I cried, and it's an excellent story. So maybe not quite as feel good as some of the others, but all the way through, but it's definitely worth a read, and it's definitely a book that makes me happy. So that is it for today. Next week, this book talk series will be back on Wednesdays, but for this week I just changed it up. So yes, the winner of my giveaway. I'll be getting in touch with you on YouTube through like the messenger system. So if you don't, if for whatever reason it doesn't get through to you and you don't hear from me, message me, but it's Rising South. So thank you so much for entering, everyone. It's so great having you all here. And yeah, so that's it for today. I hope you're all having a good week and that you have a fantastic Easter if you celebrate it. And in the comments down below, let me know what your favorite feel-good book is. And maybe next week we'll tackle those books we love that make us sad. Okay, until then, I will, until then, talk to you then. So until then, be well. Bye-bye.